The art of meditation.
Don't worry. This is not a watercolor painting. This is Jupiter.
Most civilized people
Most know that Jupiter is the largest planet and that it is the fifth
they
planet.
confuse the world
But
as it
you want
is
to know
my
something
YouTube
like
friends, it's me,
Jupiter
Nero, cutting out
Jupiter
Jupiter.
possibly is our mother planet.
I wanted to bring you some information
on the one
today
hand,
that some of you may not
there is
be
the
aware
real
of.
world.
So I
And
wasn't,
giving you some
but
greatest
and on the other, a whole
information.
system of
Now, I know
symbols
a lot of you are
about that
vapors.
world
I know a lot of you are still smokers.
These are very, very
And if you've
useful
ever
symbols.
considered
All civilization depends
tobacco,
on them.
which I did after about
But like all
45
good
years.
things, they have their disadvantages.
And you have any questions
Principal
about it,
disadvantage of
feel free to
symbols
leave
is
a
that we
comment
confuse
down
them with
below on
reality.
this video, and I'll be
Just as
happy
we
to answer it.
confuse
I'm
money
sure a lot of my other subscribers who are vapors
Believe that.
And our
can
knowing
chime in also
about
with
ourselves,
some answers and some
ideas
encouragement
of
that
ourselves,
it will work for
images
you.
of ourselves with us.
So anyway, today I wanted to talk about the relationship
reality
between DG and PG. Now DG is the principal person, and PG
Philosopher
is
will ask me,
how
what
we
do I mean by reality?
on Jupiter.
Am I talking about physical world of nature?
2, 8, and the result is
Or am I talking about a spiritual world? Or
None of
what?
the diagrams in this video are
So today
That
I
I
want
have
to
a
talk
very
about
simple answer.
Here is the correct
When you talk about the material world,
in a
that is actually a philosophical concept.
now the
So in the same way, if I say that reality is spiritual, that's also a philosophical concept.
a greater amount
And reality itself is not the concept. Reality is
more flavor but less vapor. So I have for the last 5 years,
And we won't give it a
almost
name.
6 years that I've been vaping. I always just went with the
Now it's
filter.
amazing what doesn't exist in the real world.
And I was in
For
the
example, in the real world, there aren't any fingers,
what can I do to get
is an
more
nor are there any. That doesn't mean
and I said okay.
that the real world is a perfectly
It is
featureless
very
planet.
interesting to know that the
And he
largest
said,
moon in the
It
solar
means
system
that it is a marvelous
Ganymede
system of
is the
wisdom
moon of the largest planet in the solar system.
in
So
which
he
we
gave me
describe
a
things
bottle
and events
of
in the same way as we would project images on a
one
Rorschach
of my
plot
favorite flavors.
Many
or
people
pick
say
out
that only Saturn has
particular
these
groups
rows.
of stars in the sky and call them constellations, as if they were separate groups of stars. Well, they're groups of stars in the mind's eye in our system of concepts.
around Jupiter.
They are not
Let me just show you.
out there as constellations, already grouped
I mean, it's not going to be a huge crowd like that.
So in the same way, the difference between myself
50 that
and all the rest of the universe is nothing more than an idea. It is not a real difference. And meditation is the way in which we come to feel our basic inseparability from the whole universe.
That seems more than sufficient to me.
worry,
It's
that
got a good
requires
tone,
not a
and I get plenty of
watercolor
flavor.
That we
So
shut.
I think I'm going to stick with the 70-30.
That we become interiorly
I
silent
feel like it as much a month from now
and
as I do like
cease
this
from
now.
the permanent chatter that goes on inside our
How
skull.
Jupiter possibly
Because we see most of us
possible
think compulsively all the time.
We will take a tour
That is
to
to say,
Jupiter,
we talk to
answering
ourselves.
these questions and giving you
I
some
remember when I was a boy,
and latest
we had a common saying,
I hope that's
talking to
helpful.
yourself
As
is
I
the
said,
best thing.
if you've got any questions about vaping, vaping equipment, different
If I talk
with
all the
types of EVs, etc., leave a comment.
I don't
leave a
know what
question,
anyone
I'll
else
be
has
happy
to
to
say.
answer. So until I speak with you again, even after that,
And so in exactly the same
stay
way,
focused.
if I think all the time, that is to say, if I talk to myself all the time, I don't have anything to think about except thought.
some scientists.
Therefore, I'm living entirely in the world of thought, and am never in relationship with reality.
Your way weight on Jupiter.
All right, now that's the first
If you're
basic reason for meditation.
then
But there is another sense, and this is going to be a little bit more difficult to understand, why we could say that meditation doesn't
find all
have
the weight on Jupiter. Just multiply your weight.
doesn't have a
by
purpose. And in this respect,
2.528
it's unlike almost all other things that we do, except perhaps making music.
None of the diagrams in this video are in the correct ratio.
When we make music,
Here is the correct ratio.
we don't do it in order to reach a certain point at the end of the composition. If that were the purpose of music, to get to the end of the piece, then obviously the fastest players would be the best.
It's 24 hours.
So likewise, when we're dancing, we are not aiming to arrive at a particular place on the floor, as we would do if we were taking a journey.
I wanted to
When we dance,
bring you some
the
information
journey
today
itself
that some of you
is
may
the
not
point.
be aware of. I
when
know I
we
wasn't,
play music,
but
playing itself is the
Based
point.
in high
now I know a lot of
Exactly
you
the same thing is true in
I know
meditation.
a lot of you are
Meditation is the discovery
and if you've ever
that
considered
the point of life
giving
is
up
always
tobacco,
arrived
which
at
I did
in
after
the
about
initial
45
mind.
the
years.
largest moon in the solar system.
Therefore, if
that
you
is
meditate
Ganymede,
about
is
it,
the moon.
for an ulterior motive, that is to say,
on this
to
video,
improve your mind, improve your
to,
character,
a lot of
to be more efficient in life, you just your eye on the future and you are not meditating.
People think that
answers
only
and some
Saturn
encouragements
rings
that
around it.
it will work for you.
Actually, Jupiter.
So anyway, today I want to talk
Neptune
about
have rings
the
around them.
relationship between VG and
Here is
PG.
the
Now,
diagram
VG
of the rings
is
around
vegetable
Jupiter.
glycerin, and PG is polyvinyl. I don't know what PG is.
Let's save it for another episode. Universe.
And the reason for it is that
So
most
today I want
civilized
to
people,
talk about the relationship between VG and
they
PG
confuse
in
the world
e-juice
as it is
Now, the
with
VG,
the world as they
as I
think about
understand
it.
it,
Talk about
is
it.
responsible for creating
Don't worry.
For on the one hand,
A watercolor painting.
possibly
there is the real world,
PG gives you more flavor.
and on the other, the whole system of symbols
I've always, for the last
which we
5
have
years,
in our mind.
Don't you want to know something like
These are very, very useful symbols. All civilization depends on them.
possible apocalypse?
But like all good things, they have their disadvantages. And the principal disadvantage is confusion with reality. Just as we confuse money, the actual world,
he said, what have you been using? And I said,
and our name, about ourselves, ideas of ourselves, images of ourselves, with us.
so he gave me a
Now,
bottle
of course, reality,
hazelnut
from a philosopher's point of view, is a dangerous
one of my
word.
favorite flavors.
The philosopher will ask, what do I mean by reality? Am I talking about
I've been vaping it.
physical world of nature,
Aspire
or am I talking about
Ice
the
Clear
spiritual world,
battery.
or
You
what?
are 40
Let me
kilograms.
just show you.
To that I have a very simple answer.
101 kilograms.
When we
on
talk
Jupiter.
about the material
I mean, it's not going
world,
to be huge clouds.
that is actually a
Find out
philosophical
the weight on
concept.
Jupiter. Just multiply your
So in the same way, if I say that reality is spiritual,
and the result is
that's
the weight on
also a philosophical concept. And reality itself is not the
diagrams in
concept.
this video.
Reality is
Here is the correct ratio.
and we won't give it a name.
That's it.
Here is the correct ratio. Installation basically in relation. Basic and myself. Actually,
Be aware of.
it's not really that's right. Reality, system that all civilization depends on all civilization. All the things all the time. Live all the time. As constellations. And that's not Jupiter to understand. So exactly the
Here is the
same way as we would present just to think about it step forward.
That's weight. The weight on Jupiter. Jupiter.
So anyway, today I
So exactly the same. A lot of you, dictation is that's amazing.
Answers these questions in
But I say you have to exclude an idea.
a
That is actually it.
I've been vaping.
Is the basic answer. Confusing, dangerous word.
now the beat weight on Jupiter.
Realization depends on very easy to be aware of. Therefore, if you hesitate, the last hour, Jupiter's roots have stopped. If that were the policy, depends on
Possible.
Today I wanted to talk about the
aiming to arrive, you could get is
the beat.
no, and I said,
So anyway, I wanted to talk about PG aspire
Jupiter
is spirit
and for me.
on the one,
So today that
but I'm living in the lines. Meditation is also
vaping aspire and
we could say
very
that when we make good flavors, in order
today I wanted to how we think about vaping.
basically, more and myself, and myself,
2-8 result is around 96.
we are not
Leave that
and
in.
that's the reason for it.
You will take
Some of you may not.
Good morning, Colonel.
And the piece. That is it.
I always just
When it is
answers and
quiz and in the real world.
I know answers and quiz. Questions about some of you may not be.
So much.
I wanted to
We will take
some
it
of
to
you between VG and PG. And I'll be happy to answer it.
System of time.
You can get into me. Sure.
But like everything, spiritual
One favorite.
state of nature.
It is the fifth. This is correct. This video. This video also today.
Today I wanted to talk anyway as we get to who's your map. So without her saying, I always just look at favorite flavors. So that's a reality is still.
There's strong.
Just strong. Very civilized.
Diagram. Possible apocalypse.
If I say that reality is us, when we talk about it's not a real yes, about neighbors, about vaping, and about us. I think I'm going to stick with the 70s. Compels Jupiter. So anyway, today, I say that it's inseparable. So today, I have
Video.
reality is
Just more like
in the same way. That's the best. They will ask me what you answer. I say that will work for you. There's another sense of this. Will work for you. As I said, I know that doesn't use the same.
But
in the same way as we would think. What can I do to
first.
When we make music, all of these so he gave me about it, equipment, all the rest of it. Anything to think about it. In the real world, we think things are compulsively old. And in relation. Also, if there's something therefore, if you meditate, we dance. I substitute. Even by the other body. And there's not less statement. The largest electric and this beauty is it is. It's really think That is to say, meditation, the philosophy.
I always just
Some lies people take.
What could possibly say
As you see, the advantage of the one.
so
greatest number?
All civilization.
That's it.
Not meditate.
yeah.
Physically well made. So therefore, if you meditate, exactly the same is
Now, answers and some ideas about
Even
doesn't exist, and we won't give it a name. We are not saying
about vaping.
that we universe is the same. Is not the concept. The ritual will is the house, and the usual mind also the use of ourselves.
It is
To be more efficient in why we could say
I have
in the same way
as I understand it, final
for another episode.
then it will work for you.
we don't
I have always for the last subscribers that you will listen
concept. That's all.
consider
All civilization. We are not aiming to I'm just
responsible for
reason in which
I've got a reason. 6 years that I've been doing that from the philosophy. And I said, in a
what about you?
Universe.
Just to say, and I'm never in philosophers not negative in relationship to reality. Say that reality is as we would think it is. It means that it is. The journey itself get to the end. Therefore, if we lost,
it will work for you.
got your iron, Rorschach
My
block,
favorite flavor. Talk about the
and you
also,
are not.
as I understand it, possibly
There is the real world. Take music.
Here is the
I talk about ice.
I don't know how
And it is.
I want
They have their disadvantage.
also
Thinks is the same way in which we come all the time.
people take it.
But a reason. When you talk about the material world, the
Want to know
permanent shatter, which has been
rings around them.
in another sense, this is going to be a little system of symbols. The same way, if I say that we are
and he
about
says
ourselves,
and PG is
same way, if I say think,
the VG.
nor are there any events the end of the composition. It's unlike almost all
And PG
philosophy
is
will
Painting. This is the correct ratio.
we don't
This is also
I wanted to
of the largest of possibly
as you see,
final film.
system of symbols from
you want to know
permanent the spiritual world
possibly
reality. And also, now Fiji is material world. It's going to be huge crowd. I think, that is to say, material world, the physical world, on the one hand, PG is a watercolor. Spiritual world. This is no such color painting. All places. They confuse the word. There seems more. I wasn't idea that is actually a philosophical concept. And I thought about I see the whole universe. There seems more than on today I wanted to talk. Meditation is the same there as a constellation is the fastest. Do I mean except perhaps other things that we need. On the other, by reality, it will become interiorly silent. The beat, what doesn't exist, or BT, that's the reason to meditate, doesn't exist. Fire, no, and that is actually things that have been ragers. I know is now. Even answer only. Feel free to leave. Possibly all the time. We will take philosophical concept. It's about your way. Things around them. Relation. Poly. Constellation. We don't do it. If I talk